Economic advisor Art Laffer. Art, I was thinking of you ahead of your visit here. It was Ronald Reagan who acted against the Japanese when they were dumping computer chips on our market. A lot of people said, hey, that's not the free market way to react. I believe Ronald Reagan's response was something like that, well, they're not practicing a free market. Now, that's essentially what this president is arguing. Do you think it wins out?
No, I don't. I think Reagan regrets that he did that, and it's true that Japan is not practicing free markets. That's very true. But them not practicing free markets does not mean that we shouldn't practice it, Neil. It's a lose-lose. Both of them are.
Yeah, but if we're at a disadvantage, right, that's the president's argument. If they're not playing fair, we're sort of... It's sort of like going up against a country like a one-armed paper hanger. You're at a big disadvantage.
But you don't damage yourself in order to get even with that other country. You know, imagine that we discovered a cure for colon cancer, Neil, and that Japan discovered a cure for Alzheimer's. And let's imagine Japan, true to form, prohibits us from marketing our cure for colon cancer in Japan. Should we get even and not allow them to market their cure for Alzheimer's in the U.S.? Of course not.
That's a silly argument. That's a silly argument. It's night and day. It's a night and day argument. By the way, no. I also subscribe to the view that don't go too far with this sort of thing. You regret what you wish for. But the market seems to be interpreting from this that he's going to get the desired effect, and the Chinese are going to blink. Are they getting ahead of themselves?
Well, if they do blink, then we've won. I mean, that and the world's better off. Then we got a new trade deal with Japan. As I mentioned one time, I think with you, on being with TPP, Japan is the most protectionist nation around. I mean, what they have all these non-tariff barriers that they've removed from any negotiations. The currency manipulation is obviously what Japan was done from the quotes from all of the Diet people there. Right. And that was removed from the negotiation. Clearly, a free trade deal would be far better than what we have now. However, playing Russian roulette with the trade tariffs, I think, is a very dangerous game. Honestly, Xi is not facing a midterm election, and Trump is, and it's really could be very expensive for the Americans.
All right, you're talking about Xi Jinping, the leader for life now, yes. I guess, of China. Could I get your take on how this offsets whatever gains you get from the tax cuts? When I had Kevin Brady here, the House Ways and Means Committee, he seemed to intimate as much that he's concerned that if this does get out of hand, while he supports what the president's trying to do, he is worried that it offsets the gains that most are feeling from tax cuts because, as you know better than many, that we pay these tariffs. It's not governments.
Yeah, well, that's very true. And I think the president is correct in wanting to get negotiations. I don't think he's a protectionist. I think he is a free trader. But this type of thing has historically been very powerful on markets and on output unemployment. Trade wars are never won. One party loses more than the other, but they're never won by anyone, Neil. Freer trade makes everyone better off. And, you know, right now I am very concerned about tariffs and quotas, but I trust Trump. I think he's going to do a good deal on getting it with NAFTA. I think he's going to do a better deal with TPP, and I think he's probably going to get a good deal with China. But don't think for a moment I'm not scared that it doesn't move into a trade war, and I think that would be the worst for everything.
Thank you, my friend. The TPP, to which Mr. Laffer was referring, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, it's a trade deal among all the Asian nations and presumably ourselves to try to exact more fair trade. The president argues there's nothing fair about it. All right, Toys R Us.